Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News. A new ice cream cart has appeared next to the Laugh and Go food truck near the car's road trip attraction.
The ultimate princess celebration has been confirmed for August the 23rd through the 29th.
The first official Premier Access entrance sign has been installed in Autopia.
The health pass checks are now in operation at security before bag check.
Welcome to another Disneyland Paris News Show, listeners and viewers. Right, today we're going to be giving you our podcast recommendations, plus we're going to have a little brainstorm about mini seasons, giving you our ideas, so a nice bit of armchair imagineering there again. Chris has got a competition announcement for all of you, but first we're going to discuss that news. I'm going to put an extra bit in there because first I want to know what made Hugh chuckle like a girl just then.
It was when Chris went, ooh.
Ooh.
Just liked it.
There you go.
Yeah. So, well, let's just...
Oh, I just want to point this out as well. This black bar going down the middle is actually physical. So if you watch this, see, it's physical. Makes its own noise.
You're
Wondering why we're not in the same room again, guys. It's because we are going on our Disney cruise at the end of this week.
Hopefully.
And we are doing everything we can to avoid contracting COVID before then. Or more specifically, we don't want Bonnie to. We're both double vaccinated, so the odds are ever in our favour.
They don't want my stinking germs anywhere near them, basically.
I don't know. Well, you've had 2 people in your house exposed, haven't you?
Yeah, something like that. They've both quarantined for a lot of days for no reason because neither of them have contracted COVID. It's one of those things, you know. Yeah. Those things that keeps happening. We've
just been ultra careful. That's all. Because we really want to go on our cruise. We really do.
Ooh. Sorry, just Susie's only popping in because they're starting their Marvel marathon. Right. Susie, excellent. Did you decide on chronological or order that they were made in the end? Anyway, carry on.
Surely chronological.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
There is the wrong answer, Susie, so be careful.
You get to put Black Widow where it belongs now.
Oh yeah, I know where it belongs.
Go on then.
In the bin.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh hush.
£20 that cost me.
I really enjoyed that.
20 wasted pounds.
It's not wasted if your wife enjoys herself.
Same with Mulan.
Shame, innit? I haven't bought
everything on Disney Plus. I've been a bit like...
There's a feminist bent to all these, isn't there? Maybe that's it. Maybe you're a misogynist.
She says release order, Hugh. She says release order. She says release order.
Do you know what? I knew she'd go with that because I was so adamant that it should be chronological that I thought... Other people are going to talk her out of it. She's going to go with release order.
Can I tell you something? For
Susie, if that's your choice, then I respect it. No, let me take that back. Enjoy the films, Susie, in whatever order you watch them in.
Yes. Well
you love them.
Well put.
Shall I discuss the news?
Oh, yeah. Cool. What are we here for again?
Yeah, okay. So the first one is a little bit pedestrian, but they've added a new ice cream truck next to the Laugh and Go cart. I think this is because there's no sweet options at the Laugh and Go cart, and there can't be really because it's based around Baby Bell cheese. Although cheesecake, can you make cheesecake out of Laughing Cow, or does it not quite work? I don't know. So yeah, they've got an ice cream truck, but it's themed to Jessie. So it's becoming a little confused already, that area. You know, because the Laugh and Go truck is heavily cars themed. Well, it's a car with a face, basically. It's a truck with a face. And then right next to it, they've got one of the standard kind of box on wheels ice cream carts with a parasol and Jessie all over it. So, I mean, I suppose it works because you're coming out of Toy Story Land, but it's just a bit of a shame to lose that theming already.
It all seems a bit confused around there to me, so it's no big surprise. I've heard that they're selling mixed chopped vegetables mixed in ice cream in little pots.
No, listeners, he's been dry, just like the vegetables. I've got full faith that when this expansion is fully realised, everything will marry together a little bit better.
I was on a round of steroids not so long ago, and also I chipped a tooth, so I had full faith as well. Oh, that was a convoluted joke. Full faith. A full face today, and a chipped tooth, full faith.
Oh, okay.
It's quite good, I thought.
I didn't get that.
No, you didn't.
Okay. What was next? Oh, we've got the Ultimate Princess celebration. Now, this is only a week, 23rd of August till the 29th of August. We've known about the Ultimate Princess celebration sort of worldwide. If I just read this, this is on the Disney website. A Disney princess represents kindness, courage, and bravery, and so much more. And Disney is highlighting these characteristics as part of a multi-year global campaign. The celebration focuses on favourite princesses with music, merchandise, and much, much more.
I love multi-year global campaign.
I know.
Just for a bit. We're going to do it for a bit. Until we get bored of it or it don't work.
Everywhere. In shops, in parks, wherever we feel like doing it. But it's a bit weird to sort of pinpoint it as a campaign because pushing princesses that's what Disney does. They don't need like an additional platform to do that, surely. But I'm not mad about it. I am a princess fan. We are going to be all over it. But it's a strange concept. But the fact that Disneyland Paris have only dedicated a week to it makes it a mini season. So we're not entirely sure what to expect. Again, from the Disney website, it says includes entertainment offerings, special treats, and extra surprises. So I'm reading into that. They don't really know either.
Queues at the Princess Pavilion. I think that's what we're looking out for. That's what we're going to get.
Yeah. Well, the entertainment offerings, they have done, maybe it's because of COVID, because they did do fireworks over Lake Disney for 2 or 3 of the little mini events pre-pandemic. And I'm just wondering if they had that planned, but they don't know if it's coming ahead, or maybe they've got a quick pop-up show that's going to go on the Castle Theatre, but they're not committing themselves. And I think they would, if they knew, they would want to get people in. They would want to use it for promo. And it's very, very vague. Special treats, they're just going to use a different shaped cutter for the shortbread and Nutella, aren't they?
But I can't wait to see what shapes they can think up next.
Exactly. Exactly. And you might have Aurora's face printed on a croque monsieur, perhaps.
Yes.
Croque madame.
Oh, indeed.
With
Although
an egg.
the egg would cover the face.
Croque princess. That'll be called.
Yeah. And extra surprises. There'll be stuff you can buy. Now, thing is, I'm being rather cynical about this, mainly because they've not given me much to be excited about just yet. But we are still unclear about our travel arrangements this summer, and if they get rid of the quarantine or we manage to wangle something, we will be there that week, because that's the week that we should be in Florida, and that's the week we're going to be in Paris, and then they brought the COVID thing back, and I'm delighted. I love these little mini seasons, especially if you've been to Disneyland Paris multiple times. It just means there's new things to experience. And
something a bit different.
Yeah,
we like something a bit different.
And come and tell you about.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
happy. And we are going to continue that discussion in our discussion section in just a moment.
Ooh.
Anything to report?
Teaser.
Huey?
What, in the chat?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I just saw you reading. You can say no, not really.
No, there is Well, Mark Chester's saying Black Widow was so disappointing. I agree. Also, the Chesters have doubled the audience in the Chester household. Mum and stepdad are watching as well.
Hello, Mum and stepdad.
So hi, Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. So we'll be on our best behaviour. I feel like there are adults present.
We need to bring our A game now, don't we?
Yeah. So actually, it says there's a certain number in the chat, but you can add a couple on there. You can add 2 or 3 into that. Yeah. Susie's saying, please stay friends with me.
Mm.
I mean, that was debatable to start with, Susie. Let's be honest.
And Mum did an awesome gurn when veg and ice cream was mentioned.
Oh.
Sorry, Mrs. Bishop.
What was the new thing that we announced last week? It was rice pudding and apricot puree. I mean, that's fine.
Well, that sounds appetizing in comparison to
Weird.
vegetables and ice cream.
Mark Riley's told us off. Mark with a Q. Why so cynical, guys? DLP is trying its best, honestly.
Oh no, yeah. I agree. I'm not that cynical. I'm not that. I was being pithy.
Do you know what it is for me?
Secretly, I'm about it.
Do you know what it is for me? It's been so long since any of us have been there, and we know all the good stuff and we know all the nice stuff, and we can talk about it and wax lyrical all the time. But we've done that an awful lot, so it's just nice and easy at the moment to just pick fights and conversations. I think.
Yeah. So,
we need some Disney.
So we're being pithy.
Yeah.
And once I get that chip 2 fixed, that will become a different word. Caitlin Jackson's here.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
I owe you a book, Caitlin. I owe you a book, and I still haven't sent it out.
Oh, yeah.
I tweeted you earlier about it as well. I really, really apologise. I have
won a
Bob's
book.
book. I found it in my office.
Do you know
I
what,
need
Bob?
to post it to you, and I will do it this week.
I'm using one of Bob's coasters today.
Oh.
And as I got this out, I looked at it and I said to myself, I love Bob. I think I actually love him. I love Bob.
He told me I was being cruel to my son when I said that my son as a baby looked like Nyen Numb.
Nub, nub.
Oh dear. Right. They're removing fast passes. Sorry, fast pass entrance, fast pass booths. They're removing those, and that is greatly changing the look of the park. If you're remembering it as it was, it'll be no more. It's all changing. I'm not sure who that was.
I think it was Michael Crawford.
It was a little bit, wasn't it?
It'll be no more. It's all changing.
Lucy, can you do it as Nicolas Cage, please?
I don't do requests.
Yeah, if anyone missed that, Lucy once did an impression of Nicolas Cage that went like this: Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage.
Leave me be. Leave me be. I don't pretend to be a vocal performer, despite having a podcast.
I pretend.
Anyway,
I pretend.
But they are beginning, and I say beginning with one attraction, to change some of these entrances to premier access entrances. Ooh. So that's happening. Now, I went on the app today to have a look at the situation with the standby pass. I couldn't book any because of my distance and proximity and stuff, but I just wanted to see how it worked. It was quite ergonomic and easy. There was only one attraction, and again, it was Crush. As far as I'm aware, that's the only one that's gone on to be the standby pass so far. And it was posted at a 30-minute wait, which is very good for Crush. The symbol had turned green, and when you clicked on the attraction, there was a little option to book standby pass. So I think it looks very easy, and if you can do it anywhere on the resort, that's a really good function.
I felt a little bit smug when I saw that the other day. I thought, do you know what? That's exactly what I was saying 2 weeks ago when we were all here.
And I maybe didn't understand it.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be like. I knew nobody would want those fast passes. They won't need them.
No, it seems a good function. However, no, this isn't a however. This is a you lucky beggars who live in France right now. It was 3:30. It was Saturday afternoon, first Saturday of the summer holidays in the UK, but the similar holidays in the rest of Europe.
3:30.
The wait times, Chris. The wait times, Hugh. Pirates, 5 minutes. Phantom Manor, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain, 25 minutes. There's nobody there.
That's true.
And it's because of travel restrictions. It's because of the health pass restrictions. It's because of the capacity is restricted. But I don't think that's it. I think if that was the case, they'd be fuller. They'd be up to their own capacities, and we'd still be seeing wait times. So, gosh, if you can get there, guys, if you can get there, you're gonna have a brilliant day. I am so jealous. Talking earlier about why so cynical, etc. I had a just massive mood this week, just a massive bad mood.
You must be grumpy.
Yeah, because I always say I love to hear about other people's holidays, and I'm not even being like, oh, go on, tell me your holidays. I love to hear. It's like I genuinely do. If someone says they're going to Disneyland Paris, I'm like, tell me every detail. Tell me where you're staying. Tell me what your plan is. Everything. Oh, I'm more talented than I thought. So I like to know everything.
It's quite a good super lad as well.
I sort of tweeted this week. It's like I don't feel like that this week. I was looking at pictures on Twitter and I was just going, go away. Just because I just feel I feel trapped now. I've taken it with good grace for a year and I'm starting to feel a bit trapped because I can't do Disney. But we've got a cruise. So I need to get my fun on. We've
got two questions.
Yes.
Sorry, Chris, go on.
I was going to say, I can't wait to hear about your cruise. I honestly cannot wait for you guys to go and do that and have a great time and then come back and tell me about it and then put some videos up that I can watch and all that sort of stuff,
Or in a week's time, we're going to be sat here like this.
No. Because
we didn't go.
No, don't say that. That's not going to happen. We're going to go. Just while we're on that subject and before Hugh does his questions, we'll mention this again at the end. We are on the cruise next Sunday, so we're not doing a live stream next Sunday. I think Chris might be doing a little something.
Well, Lucas is really keen because I kind of mentioned it to him briefly. So Lucas is really keen to come on and read the news and stuff. So we might do a short 15 minutes.
Put him in a little suit.
Yeah, here's the news.
That'd be cute.
Bit of a chat about.
Please have him
his
shuffling his
stuff,
papers. That'd be gorgeous.
Stuff, and then we'll clear off.
Yeah, but we're back on the Monday and we are going to do a live stream just like this on Monday, and we're just going to talk about the cruise. That's going to be like our trip report. So if you've got any questions, then come in the chat and give us your questions or give us them beforehand if you can't get into the chat. And it's just going to be our trip report is next Monday. So tune in for that. Right, what's the questions, Huey?
Well, one is one that I can answer. Caitlin asks, does DLP do single rider lines? It does, not many though.
No.
I'm thinking Toy Story Parachute Drop.
Ratatouille. Hyperspace Mountain.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? A few Crush.
Indiana Jones.
I don't think so because I go on my own and I remember queuing behind. Oh, mind you, you can be in that ride with groups of people. They just agree to separate once they get to the end. So I can't actually remember. Maybe. So actually, yeah, there are a few. But you know, it's probably about the same ratio as it is in the States, isn't it? Because not every ride there's got a single rider line like Haunted Mansion,
If anyone's
Phantom Haunted Cashew Nut.
If anyone's wondering what the deal is with single rider lines and what we're on about, a lot of rides they do 4 in a vehicle. So if you're a family of 3, you'll end up with 3 spaces and there'll be 1 space left. They have a separate queue for people who are riding on their own single rider line to fill those extra gaps. Rather than split up loads of parties, you can sort of put your hand up as a spare, as it were. And quite often they move a lot faster than the main queue because there's lots of these odd spaces. Yeah. Not always, but if you are on your own, it's worth just doing the single rider.
It's quite fun when you, the idea that you are in a family photograph. There's you got to look at the pictures and there's 3 in a family and then there's, who's that guy? Well, that's me. Hi, new family. The other question was from Mark Riley, was saying, a question about fast passes. Does that include the ones that come with a hotel booking in Compass Club or Forest Lounge, etc.? Now, I don't know this. So
they haven't brought back the concierge levels yet because they can't bring back the lounge. So can't really answer that. I don't know.
Probably.
Are they booking them for the future? Do we know? I know they're not booking them at the moment. I know people who are there at the moment can't have club level. I don't know if they're booking them for like club level. I don't know if they're booking them for 2022, etc. So I'm not sure whether they still include fast passes.
I don't know.
That's something we could look up for next week.
But they were paper passes, weren't they? get a bit of paper. So
same way you'd get meal tokens.
yeah,
so
so
just
I don't know. Maybe
there's all your stuff.
maybe they'll just like load it onto your app for you when you.
I think they're technologically capable of that, so that'll probably be what they do.
Watch this space. That's what I reckon. Watch this space.
Watch this space mountain.
Hugh.
Yes.
I noticed a Jawa a minute ago, and it raised this question for me. And I just wanted to know, what's in your tiki cup?
Hi, ole, it's showtime.
All together.
Your tiki cup, in your tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, I'll drink it up from your tiki cup.
I was in a shop yesterday, and I've had my eye on this in Home Bargains, or it's actually called Quality Safe and Dewsbury for some reason, but it's the same branding. I've had my eye on this. It's $7.99. It's a spiced rum liqueur, and this one is roasted pineapple. And I thought that can't be any good, can it? For £8. But it's very nice. There was a coconut and vanilla one, but I almost got that. But I was wearing this shirt, listeners, to the audio version. This is a coconut-heavy shirt, and I couldn't buy a coconut drink wearing a coconut shirt or a Bounty bar. They would have thought I was mad. So I actually went for the pineapple. But next week I'm going back for week after next, I'm going back for the coconut, and that's what I'm having with lemonade.
Nice. Can I ask you to drink it slow? Because next time I'm there, that sounds like my kind of drink.
Oh, you can have some. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant... Yeah, I was literally drinking it slowly now. Did you see me putting it up to my lips very slowly? Right.
But it's not some kind of erotica at my end here that I want.
And yeah, that's
Drink
what
it
I
slowly,
thought.
Hugh.
This is some
Drink it
kind of
slow.
fetish.
I won't get through this.
Slower.
But there you go. That's what I'm drinking.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Next.
Right. Health passes have they've landed. They've landed in the parks. So people are now flashing their barcodes, flashing their apps. They have to show the health passes. They are doing it at security. This was the question: when and how are they going to do it? They're doing it at security before the bag check. So you have to do it to enter the sort of Fantasy Gardens area. It is not currently required for the village or the hotels. However, this is set to change in an undisclosed date in August, is the official line. So at some point you will need it for the hotels. I'm presuming they're just giving people who've booked but don't want to show a health pass chance to get themselves sorted, otherwise they'd be stuck. We reported on this, on what Disneyland Paris now requires, because we like to give people who are going to Disneyland Paris any information we can give them. But we got a little pushback, didn't we, Chris?
We've had some anti-vax comments on our YouTube channel. Hello, if you were the person that posted it, thanks for listening and watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I can't. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I don't want to alienate people. We've always stayed away from politics in every possible way that we can, because everyone's their own person and stuff. But I didn't go out in that video to attack anybody for not having a vaccine, but I did say that I thought it was quite a good thing. I might have said that it wasn't problematic to me. But apparently, that means that I don't have a clue, and that we should just stop with our 153.
Yeah.
He's really taken down the man, hasn't he, with that comment?
Yeah.
The big corporate giant that is the Disneyland Paris show.
I took down the man. I deleted his comment.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Someone was being very homophobic on a video about Anderson Cooper that I made in the style of what's the director called?
Werner Herzog.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Delete them. It's best just to delete them.
It's just to put my 2 pence in it. I have no problem with it. It sits absolutely fine with me. But it's another country's government with different culture and different rules. I just think, as British people, you just have to go, oh, that's what you're doing over there, is it? All right. If it was our country, I would have a little more heated debate with people, but I just think it's none of our business. And if we go as visitors. So you have to assimilate, don't you?
I saw a cartoon today. I think Bob shared it actually on Facebook, and it's 2 beekeepers at a beehive and a guy without any protective gear on, covered in bees. And it said, we did, as specialists, we did advise him to wear protective gear, but he thinks that he knows better, or something along those lines. And I just
it's his choice.
It's exactly that. It's his choice. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I totally agree with that. It's his choice not to wear protective equipment. Let's move on, shall we?
Just before we do,
stung to death. Yeah.
Chat Hugh. I'm sure I saw a new name in the chat today, and I just wanted to check with you whether you.
Ruth.
Yes.
We do like to shout out
Thank
new
you.
friends.
I think we've had Ruth before, haven't we? She's been on before.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't think we had. Sorry. Yes. Fine.
Right, she's supposed.
About cruising.
She's supposed to be there on the 13th in the park. So.
Are you still going? Are you going to quarantine, Ruth? This is
why don't you ask?
the speed that you get responses when you talk to the chat. It's like, we'll get back to you in a minute. Because Hugh has got, next thing on my show notes, Hugh has got something to show us. I don't know what this is. I do my notes and he says, oh, just put on the notes, I've got something to show.
While I'm reaching down for this, I'm also going to say that Mark Chester's also got his Jawa Tiki Cup on the go. And Mark... was that Mark? Did I say Mark Chester? Mark Chester's got his Tiki Cup.
Yeah.
Mark Riley was saying that Hella, who previously were featured on with their sauce.
Oh yeah.
With the ketchup, also sells flavoured waters in Germany Lidl's.
Ooh.
Now we know.
No,
now,
I'm not sure I'd buy flavoured waters from the same company that made curried ketchup.
If you buy desserts made by Heinz, I swear there's a hint of a bean flavour. I swear there is. Have you ever had have you ever had rice pudding out of a plastic bowl that's previously had baked beans in, and it imparts just the slightest hint of bean. Well,
that's why I stopped eating Weight Watchers meals.
What are we doing?
I just feel like I'm a lot further away from the microphone.
Yes, but I'm always really quiet.
Oh,
so,
right.
It's true.
So I put it closer to me. I put it closer to me. So people, do you know what? Right, I'll just do this quickly. Do you know when people send you a link to something and they go, "Oh, I saw this and I thought of you," and it's always wrong. I'm sorry, but they send me links to shirts and they go, or opera suits. They go, I could see you in one of these suits, and I'd be like, no, there's a fine line, and that's not it. Well, someone sent me a link to a charity shop in Bingley for this item, and I was like, yes, Gemma, yes. So she lives near there, so she picked it up for me, and she's had it for a couple of months, and then she dropped in her work. I went in to get a computer, and it was there on my desk. And what it is, and I'll tweet this for listeners under the hashtag 37 Disney Street.
Oh, that's nice.
That's not the hashtag. Hashtag 37 Disney Street tankard, because it's a giant ceramic Walt Disney World tankard. It's got Main Street on it embossed. I'll hold it closer to the camera. It's absolutely lovely. It was about £8 or something, but look at, it's got this incredible handle on it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
With like a nice flourish. Let's look at that. And I had to have it. And we've got enough cups. We've got way too many cups, actually. It's a one in, one out situation.
I don't think that's for drinking from.
No, I'm going to keep pencils in it. Although it's very deep, so once the pencils get small, it's going to be an issue.
So pencils that haven't been used yet then? Well, new pencils.
It's got a love. Oh, look, it's got Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Goofy on there. I've not actually looked at this.
Oh, and Cinderella coming out of the
castle.
It's
all...
Guys, we're doing a show. Guys,
blooming brilliant. It's blooming brilliant.
Don't get distracted.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to tweet this picture.
Ace.
So you can see it.
That was really cool.
Yeah. You
did tease earlier in the week to me that you got something Disney that was really cool. And it's true, you do.
Can I just say as well, we've had what I presume is a new listener. And I'm really bad. His tag on Twitter is something like worldwide attractions or something. But I think he's binge listening from the beginning. And he said, can I just say that your hashtags on Twitter for the photos are genius, because he's been going back and looking at all the photos whenever we mention them. So I stand corrected.
UK Shadow Hunters.
UK Shadow Hunters. I don't know where I got this worldwide theme park thing from. UK Shadow Hunters. Because I was a little bit, these are very convoluted Twitter hashtags. Is this in it? Is this irrelevant?
Well, that's the point.
No, it's working. It's working.
It's also really nice to get likes on tweets that you put out months and months, even years ago in some cases. That are just a little bit of a hark back. It's quite a nice thing. So thanks for that, UK Shadow Hunters.
So somebody's listening and somebody's looking. Right, we've got a quick little thing now. Someone asked us a few weeks ago what Disney podcasts we listened to. And we keep saying, oh, we will talk about that. We will talk about that in a bit. So now is the week we talk about it.
It was Mark Riley.
Forgetting. Yeah.
Mark Riley asked us like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What podcast to listen to?
So
Who wants to go first?
Yeah.
And you can tell us in the chat who you listen to.
Is Chris going first?
I'm just looking through to the time. Do you know what? So my podcast listening isn't as much since I started working from home, although over the last probably 2 months I've started picking up again. The ones that I watch, that I listen to, every week though, are the Disney History Institute podcast and Chat Disney, pretty much, and the Disneyland Paris Show as well, because I like to listen back and make sure that the audio is all right, as you probably imagine. I also, the other ones that I have in that I sometimes listen to from time to time are Love of the Mouse podcast, Hyperion Adventures podcast, and in the past I've started listening to a couple of the DLP ones as well, but I can't remember what any of them are called.
The one I listen to the most, like I'll listen to it religiously every week. I wouldn't miss it. And sometimes I'll re-listen with Hugh if we're going on a long car journey, is the Disney Dish. Now this is
that's one of the ones I started listening to because of you. Yes, thank you.
More of an American one, but they've been doing it absolutely years. And Jim Hill, one of the presenters, is a Disney historian. He's written books on things, and he always does little segments giving you the history of certain rides, which I love. And then the other guy, Len Tester, he runs a company, which I think I'm going to do a video about, reviewing their website, called Touring Plans. And he's a Disney statistician, and he crunches incredible numbers, telling you if the wait times are this on this attraction, what you can expect from that, and if the crowds are this, and what the walking distance is between attractions, and the most efficient ways of touring the parks at certain times of year. It's crazy. He's so detailed, and they just run these numbers. They've got people in the parks every day. This is in Florida, running, collecting data, inputting data, and running these numbers. Now that's not really what he talks about on the podcast, but that's his background. But then his ability to, and he also writes the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World as well, with a similar hat on. So his ability to give you detailed travel advice, not like, which restaurant would you recommend? Oh, it's really nice in here. Not that kind of travel advice. Detailed travel advice is phenomenal. So that's my big heads up, is the Disney Dish. But again, it's more if you're interested in American parks. I listened to Dedicated to DLP. I recently listened to their reopening. They're lucky enough to have people there. I'm going to get rid of my bitterness. I will. Next week, I'll be all sunshine and joy again. But they got to give proper on the ground reporting there. So listen to them. Chat Disney. We're all good friends with. It's already been mentioned. Yeah, Hugh, over to you.
Well, on top of some of those mentioned, I don't listen to that many anymore because I almost exclusively just have YouTube on in the background now, and I'll probably watch about 8 hours of YouTube every day in a weekday. On top of, I have about an hour in the evening as well, where I'll have someone in the bath.
It's like my kids. My kids watch YouTube.
Yeah. So, but when I do listen to podcasts, it's generally Chat Disney, Vault Disney sometimes, because they were going
Vault
through
Disney are pretty good.
They were going through the classics, same as us.
Yeah.
In the past, I've listened to Dedicated to DLP a lot, and Magical DLP. And who else have we got here? Oh, there was one, I listened to all of these, every single episode, and it was Disney World A to Z. And that's, every time someone says club level and we go club level, it's because on there, whenever she's called Bookish Princess on Twitter and YouTube, she's got her own channel and stuff. But it was her and this guy Josh that did it, and then he left and she did it for a bit longer on her own. But whenever she says club level, it sounds like she's saying club level. So that's where we got that from. But yeah, that's about it, I think.
There's also, I listen to these regularly. It's kind of a dip in when I just kind of want a podcast and I've listened to everything else. I listen to Disney Dream Girls. They're quite good. And a couple of Northern Lasses as well. So I recommend them. Indeed.
The TTA podcast, but it's very Disney World specific, says Caitlin.
Ooh.
I haven't listened to the TTA. I do listen to. I'm trying to stay away from telling you about the Walt Disney World ones. I do because I've already told you about Disney Dish, and I know this Disneyland Paris show. But I listened to. Oh, when I was doing Run Disney, I listened to the Joyful Miles, which is a bunch of people who just do Run Disney races all the time. Because there's like 4 a year in America, then they come over to Paris to do the Paris one. They used to do the California one, but that got shut down. And so they're either training or they're there. So I used to listen to Joyful Miles and Walt Disney World Prep to Go. WDW Prep to Go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth Frogson actually is going to quarantine, but she's works in the schools, so it won't be an issue.
There we go.
Right. We considered that, but it's very cruel to quarantine a 6-year-old during the 6-week holidays. If you get me meaning.
I've tweeted that picture, by the way, if anyone's watching and wants a better image of this tankard. It's hashtag on Twitter, hashtag 37 Disney Street tankard, and I'll put it on Instagram too.
I've just realised, though, that answer means that Ruth is going. You are going on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
That was a yes.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, that is so exciting because I know so few people who are actually going this summer, and I usually know loads. Oh, do come back and tell us things.
Yeah. Send us video.
Yeah,
give us a little trip report. I'm not making work for you. I'm not making homework. It's
making work for me.
Holidays. But if you've got like our top tips, this was different. We'll read them out. That is very exciting, Ruth, because we know nothing right now. We're not there.
We've got a follow-up question from Mark, who Riley again. It says, what in your opinions is missing from DLP podcasts? Well, anything that's missing, that's where we come in.
Yeah.
We provide the
sex appeal.
The humour and the sex appeal, yeah.
Yeah, sex appeal is missing. I don't know. There's a podcast for whatever you fancy, really. There are a few kind of detailed historical ones out there that are quite dry, which I really like. Hugh likes banterific ones, and
no, Caitlin, there's no date on the tankard because she's saying it could be from the Germany pavilion. It could be, couldn't it? I've seen it on eBay. I should see what the description is on eBay. I've seen about 20 quid on eBay.
There's a Facebook page, Hugh, that I'm on that's like vintage Disney or something, and people post things on and say, "Can you tell me something about this, please?" So you can always post it on there and say, "Can you tell me something about this, please?" And then
I could
tell you, or just.
But also, I like the mystery.
Yeah. You want to say, what's it worth? Just paid £8 for this. What's it worth?
Yeah, go on. What's it worth?
I would guarantee that was pre-2000. I can't see that being manufactured in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's bona fide antique then.
It's going nowhere near the kitchen because this floor will eat it.
Oh, tiled floor. Don't do it.
Is that the criteria for a bona fide antique, that it's pre-2000?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it works for us. I tell you what, it's about 5-6 years ago now, I heard a teenage girl refer to 1990s vintage, and I died a bit because that's what I wore to sixth form. And now I've just accepted it because that's a proper thing now, isn't it? 90s vintage.
Well,
yeah.
Levi
they love
jeans
it.
and t-shirts.
Oh, they all love it. And there's a little spaghetti strap black. Anyway, let's talk about Disney. Yeah, the grunge look. Right. So we're going to do a little armchair imagineering about mini seasons inspired by The Ultimate Princess. We're wondering what other mini seasons we'd like to see in Disneyland Paris. Now, Chris, you actually, as soon as we joined Zoom, you went, "I've actually got a good one this time."
Yeah.
A sensible one.
Traditionally, what happens is we agree that we're going to talk about something, and I turn up completely unprepared and then come up with some cynical response that usually involves queuing and hairy belly buttons or whatever. But today I have a genuine idea. I would like to see like Grand Fiesta, Mardi Gras type mini season, and you could have even like if you take it like the Three Caballeros, you could have a float that is a magic carpet with the three of them on it, so like floating through and stuff. But can you imagine Main Street just being like a Mardi Gras? How cool would that be?
Oh yeah, that is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris.
Yes.
Like
See, good idea.
Streamers everywhere, but like biodegradable rice paper streamers.
Oh yeah.
I've been to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, and there's beads all over the streets. I don't know if they could throw beads. I think it might not be environmentally friendly now, but I know what you're saying. That would be fantastic.
I think it'd be awesome.
The music would be amazing.
Yes.
And quite well, not easy as in simple, but quite easy to conceive of.
Non-stop samba. That's what I want. Just non-stop samba, and everybody dancing constantly. People they can't even go on the rides because they'd have to stop dancing to get on the rides because that music is pumping everywhere. It's just
fantastic.
Just constant dancing, drinking, eating, dancing, more dancing, and a bit more dancing.
Very good. And what would you connect it to an IP?
Well,
or Three Caballeros?
The Three Caballeros, I think it makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you have any ideas, Huey?
I had a couple of weird ideas. One wasn't really a festival. It was just a game where you had to spot the white rabbit somewhere in the park.
Oh, that's fun.
But then I was thinking, how would you like
a real
someone would, I don't know. I'm not sure if it'd be a little one hidden somewhere but someone would have to be the first to spot it and like send it off and to a special number or something or account, and they'd be like, yes, you win a big prize. It'd be called the Follow the White Rabbit Festival or something like that. But my other idea, and this is a silly one, I'll grant you, is it's called Disney World Land Paris. So they bring a taste of Disney World to Paris. So the customer service is a lot better. And the snacks are far more...
You're being cynical again.
Far more varied. Yeah.
You're being cynical
I
again.
know. I just couldn't think of a better idea.
Nutella Fest.
I'm just bouncing off what you said with the White Rabbit. My little brain went bing. I thought a very merry on birthday to Disneyland Paris. A very merry on birthday week would be excellent. Just having the Mad Hatter's tea party and loads of nonsense and craziness and stuff going on, and all of a sudden what's that tune where they have to change places? How do you do it? Shake hands, shake hands, shake hands, new cup, and they all have to run. And if that suddenly happened, and then the cast members in shops and everything just had to drop what they were doing, and
when you've been queuing 40 minutes for Pinocchio, and suddenly like change ride, and everyone has to leave and go to a different ride.
I just think it could be quite fun and manic. Mind you, Disneyland Paris in the middle of summer perhaps doesn't need to be any more manic. I don't know. The other thing I'm thinking is, and this is really for us, from the Tiki Cup and stuff, a lot of kind of nations are represented within Disneyland Paris, or if not specifically, then vaguely. But you don't have the Polynesian, Hawaiian, South Pacific island nations, and we've got a big soft spot for tiki in our house, just aesthetically. And I just think a tropical week, or it's not really tropical, is it?
A tropical month.
Is it tropical though? South Pacific. Yes, it is, isn't it?
You could just call it tropical, and that would
cover loads of things.
Encapsulate a load of
Whatever
different
you want.
things.
It would be a lot of pineapple whips.
Do you know,
things.
It's dark outside behind you now.
I know.
And at the beginning of this show, it wasn't.
What does that tell you? We've been going on for ages. No, it's only 1:15.
Have our lovely chat friends got anything they can add to this?
Caitlin says the Food and Wine Festival would be nice. Food and Wine, Flower and Garden, and art seem like festivals DLP should have. I know it's like
we do kind of have a Food and Wine festival.
Yeah,
kind of.
But it's not. I mean, it's not like.
It's very half.
It's not known, is it, compared to? I mean, like we've been there when there's been like a mini Christmas market, and you get a more impressive Christmas market at any town in the UK at Christmas.
Well,
you're like, come on, Disney.
No, what it is it's if you've never been when this is on, they have it in the autumn and the winter. They have the Festival de Gourmand, and then they have the Christmas one. I can't remember what they're called because it's in French. But it goes down the path towards Place de Remy, and it blends in with Place de Remy very well because it's already set up like that. So to have market stalls there, so it doesn't stand out like this is new and unique. The food is fantastic. They're not just serving burger stand stuff. It's really lovely beef bourguignons and escargot and deep fried brie and lovely French food that you can stop and eat. But there's something about it that it almost feels like it should be there always. It doesn't feel like it's a festival. It doesn't feel like it's something new and added. And they don't advertise it like one, really.
At least in the
surprise.
at least in the village, because they occasionally have a couple of stands in the village, and I just think there's room for like stands there all the time. But
because what they have is really good. They could put more bells and whistles on it, basically, because the quality's there. They just don't make a big fuss of it, unfortunately.
Suggestion from Cecilia says it would be interesting to see a midsummer season, many flowers and such. Yeah. Cecilia,
really feel that difference in season, because when you go at Halloween, when you go at Christmas, it would be lovely to have they did used to have Swing into Spring, which was then replaced with Pirates and Princesses, which is a brilliant season. If that comes back,
pirate, I am a princess.
If that comes back, go on a Pirates and Princesses. It's fantastic, but it's not uniquely spring. It would be nice to sort of feel like you've got midsummer, which is saying, but to have a flower-based thing would be beautiful. I agree. Right.
Ruth says, I know they have Halloween, but I'd love to see a Day of the Dead themed event based on Coco with all the music. A bit morbid, I suppose, though.
They do that. That's their current decorations in Frontierland. Not all of Frontierland. Sort of up the right-hand side of Frontierland. They do Dia de Mortis stuff up there.
Where are they going to put Dante now the cone of shame has disappeared and there's actually something there?
They could do more with it, because they don't do the music, they don't particularly do the merch, they really could. Again, they could do a bit more with that. It's there, but it's
what happens to these statues? A massive Dante statue that's there for about 5 minutes.
Having said
just stack them behind the trees and stuff.
We're having this discussion when we've had over a year with none of these events, and we're potentially going to have another 6 months with none of these events fully realised. So we're going, they should do this, they should do that. There's probably an events team in an office somewhere going, we know, we're on it. And I think 2022 is going to be absolutely stellar. I'm hoping to go for the 30th in April. Fingers crossed. And I really think that they're going to be like the rest of us. They're going to be so bored of holding it back. I think they will let rip with creativity next year.
See, I think that we'll end up going just before things get good, which it's going to be a kick in the teeth, isn't it? But at the same time, it would still be nice to go in February.
Yeah.
But it's going to be just before the Avengers stuff opens, I imagine. And
well, that's the other thing. We're going to get our annual passes renewed because we want to go as early on in the Avengers thing as possible. We would like to go for the 30th, and just a few of we want the flexibility to go.
Yeah.
Mark
says, Mark Riley again, how about an annual Fast Pass festival where skipping the line is free? Radical, I know, but would be popular. I'm going to put this out there. I think Mark has had a beer.
Thing is, if everyone could skip the line, no one would be skipping the line. Do you see what I'm saying?
That sounds like an old proverb.
Yeah.
If everyone is skipping the line, then no one is skipping the line.
You end up a little bit Escher then, don't you?
In space, no one is skipping the line.
Right. I'm actually going to wrap this up, guys, because we do have a classics. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. The next thing. Know. Hand to Chris for competition details. What does that mean, Chris?
We've got nothing to talk about today, she said. And I said, oh, well, actually, I've got something to talk about. And then she tried to wrap up before I'd done it.
No, it's because Hugh said 45 minutes tops tonight. He said, and I looked at the clock and it was 45 minutes. Go on, Chris.
Right. So basically, it comes down to this. As you know, we've been talking quite a lot recently about audio. But when we've been together, our audio isn't great. When we're apart, it's not too bad, but it's still not as good as it used to be before we did video and stuff. So we've been trying to do some stuff. The other week, I showed you a mixing desk that we bought. It was rubbish, so I sent it back. It sounds like that I went to the zoo book list, doesn't it? But with
that's not my mixing desk.
With that Patreon money, I then went and purchased this, which is an audio interface. You don't really care about it. It's not that important for you to know it. But basically, we're trying to improve our audio by getting the right equipment now, instead of just trying to patch things together with what we've already got. So I spoke to a sound guy that I know who just happens to be my brother.
He's a sound guy.
He's a sound guy, and he's also a sound guy. And he told me what I should get. So with the money from the mixing desk, I got that interface, and I also got a microphone. But we only have a microphone, and there are 3 of us. So what we're doing now is we're waiting for more money to come in through the Patreon thing so that we can then look to upgrade and go further. Now, the competition comes down to Patreon. So first off, I should really say, don't feel obliged. And if you want to switch off now, then you can do. It's fine. But what we're doing is basically, I've set up a pledge. We want to raise £100 to be able to buy these 2 microphones so that we can have all our audio working fantastic. We can do great quality podcasts, but also the audio will be much better in terms of what we're doing here on the screen as well. So we've got a target of £100 on Patreon. When we reach that £100, we will buy the microphones. Our audio will become fantastic. And we're going to do a big giveaway as well. And we don't quite know what this giveaway is going to be yet. But bearing in mind things like Hugh and Lucy are going on a cruise soon, you know, they're going to be trying to make Disney trips. I buy books left, right and centre for fun. You know, we want to do something kind of special and nice for all our Patreon subscribers, our Disney Street pals, as we call them, to say thank you for the support, because these people really do keep us afloat with all these things.
Yeah.
Now, just to that point, I've written down the names of our Patreon people because I want to give you a bit of a shout out just quickly. So these are the people who have contributed money to us to help us to get our video stuff up and running when we've gone to YouTube, to purchase these bits here so that I could get this Stream Deck thing that I use for moving from scene to scene and managing everything. And
every single penny goes on stuff.
Absolutely everything goes on things to help make the show better, because that's
if it's just the wire that we need, it comes out of the Patreon thing, and yeah. So
the people, and we do talk to a lot of you on here anyway on a regular basis, but the people who have contributed today are Hannah Marie Piazza, Caitlin, thank you Caitlin, I know you're on today, Grant Prosser, Orsuze, who was here earlier and she's gone, John Blakeburn, and Mark Chester most recently is our most recent Patreon. I also want to say thanks to John Salmon, who used to be a Patreon Disney Street pal but isn't anymore, but thank you so much, because your contributions as well over the last year have really been very valuable. So the competition, really, it's not a competition as such, but it is if you are a Patreon a Disney Street pal and you help us reach that target, then we will enter you into a prize draw. And I'm not saying it'll be one winner, it might not be. We could have 2 or 3 winners, we could have a bunch of stuff, and we just want to do something to say thank you to everybody who's been contributing and helping us out over the last year.
Is there a way they can just contribute once, Chris, if they don't want to join a monthly thing and still get entered into?
I mean,
really get a big merch bundle.
Really, the way that Patreon works is, yes, it's a subscription service, but you can cancel it anytime you want. So you could literally go on, sign up for 1 year, and as soon as your payment's gone, you can just cancel it. And I'll have a record of who's done that, so you can be entered into the prize draw, and then you can go away and never darken our doors again. That's how it works. I suppose we could have done like a GoFundMe or something like that, couldn't we? But that's just this is just what we've set up and how it is at the moment. So there you go. I hope all that makes sense. If you go to Patreon and look for 37 Disney Street, we are there. And if you look in the notes from this show, the links are all there as well.
Fantastic. So Patreon in the description, and you will get entered for a merch bundle competition. Right.
And I'll draw something for you as well, whatever you want.
Oh,
it's got to be Disney based.
Oh, and the other thing, when you do join Patreon, you get to make a request for a shout out from Hugh, where you can choose a voice.
And sometimes he does a good job of it.
About a third of the time, it's okay. It's always funny though.
Yeah.
Oh, and people are going like, "Are you going to draw something for me?" I am a professional illustrator cartoonist, so
Hugh did all the artwork for the show. Hugh does the bit in the bottom corner of there.
Yeah.
Screw that logo. He draws the Beano every week.
He does.
That's what he does.
Not all of it.
No, yeah, okay.
A
couple of pages of the Beano.
Some of it.
I think we can keep teasing things as well as we get things to add to this bundle. We'll tell you about it. So we'll keep letting you know some of the things. You know, back in the day on Live and Kicking, those kind of things, where they go, "Oh, we've got this great giveaway, and here are loads of things that we're going to give you," and they'd like show you a screen with a big bundle of all sorts of stuff. I want it to be like
Gadget
that.
show.
So, Yeah, exactly.
The gadget show.
Yeah. So
We read out the
keep
prizes
telling you
for
stuff
5
around it.
minutes.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get going now. So I just want to sort something out. Last week, we told you that we were recording our Loki review. We spoke for about 40 minutes. We had some really, really insightful, philosophical, wonderful things that were said.
And then the god of mischief
And then
crept in.
Tell them this. Why?
And then Chris leaned forward and went, guys, I haven't been recording. And we were all knackered. So we axed that. And because it's kind of a week since it's finished, we're not doing it again tonight. We're going to do Wreck-It Ralph tonight so we can get back on our classics thing. We may or may not do Loki in the future. I'm just telling them, Chris, not to look out for it because I did announce that we were doing it and it would be out on Monday.
Yes.
So I didn't want anyone going, where's your Loki review? You promised. Not that anybody has said that. So we are now going to go and record our Wreck-It Ralph classic show. So you can catch that on Tuesday, I believe. No, on Monday.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Chris?
But I'll get it up tomorrow morning at some point. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then he'll post the podcast up.
Yes. Thanks, you.
And oh, guys. And thank you all for being here. You know where we are on social media. You know who we are by now. So all I'm going to say is goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, pals.